Hello, Morning Rush regulars. Happy Tuesday. This is Jonathon Rush. You know my friend Kelly Nash.
Good morning.
So I just found out something that's a little startling. I'm not real happy about it because I've already gone through the pain of getting it. After Kelly Nash would often point out what an idiot I was for not always getting it this time of the year. So I hear the flu shot really isn't the strain that they had projected. It's nowhere close, is what they say.
Here's what I'll say about all that.
Yeah.
It's never been they've never gotten it right.
Yeah.
They're like 0 for 100 now with the flu shot. Yet it still helps. It still decreases your chances by like 40%.
And I got it. I got it this year.
So good. I mean, you're the guy who almost died from it.
I know it. So I'm telling you, get the flu shot, even if they say that's not the right one. Now, how stupid do I sound saying that? And I'm hoping that they come out with another strain version. I'll go get another one.
Okay. Now, when you got the flu shot, was that yesterday?
No, I got it like 2 weeks ago. Maybe
So did you go down? Because usually when I get the flu shot, I'm kind of like a little woozy.
Yeah, I got it on a Friday, so I feel like crap over the weekend.
Yeah.
That way I wouldn't come in here and sound like crap.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway, the flu shot apparently isn't the right one, so the great debate rages again. I've always been on the wrong side of this argument until I ended up in the hospital with the damn flu. So I'm telling you, I'll get one every week if I have to now. I don't want to go through that again.
You know, you mentioning that you got it on a Friday so you could be at full peak for this show.
Yeah.
I feel like we're like, not the only people, but we're a rare industry where people will intentionally ruin their weekends so that they can be better Monday through Friday for their show. Like I intentionally got my wisdom teeth pulled on a Friday so I could be ready for the Monday show.
Right.
We go out of our way to not miss work. And when we're at work, we're trying to be at our best. Like, I'll go home, like last night, I went to sleep at like 6:30, 7 o'clock. Also, I could hopefully put on a good show today and then go home and crash later on today. Rather than just say, well, I'll just call in sick. That's what most jobs will have you do.
We do have a pretty firm commitment around here. We even lost a week's vacation this year. We'll never get that back.
No.
We're supposed to be on vacation the week that Dorian came ashore.
Didn't even come near us.
No.
Did it even rain?
Off all week.
I don't think it even rained that week that we were here for storm coverage. I don't think we even got rain.
I was so excited last night we actually got rain in my neighborhood. The isolated showers that came through last Friday, and I would hear the thunder in the distance, but nothing. And then last night I actually got rain. I did. I went outside and stood there, like Andy Dufresne in Shawshank Redemption. When he gained his freedom, I stood there and just let it rain down. I had my tongue all out and licking Mother Nature right there. Hope she didn't mind.
What were you wearing? With the Mother Nature.
A pair of pajama bottoms.
That's it, huh?
With the Atlanta Braves pajama bottoms. Tumbleweed to be glad to know.
Mm-hmm.
It's that time of the year. It's October. You know, we didn't even hear from Tumbleweed, or I heard from some Morning Rush regulars upset because they thought they wouldn't be able to get the baseball. Now, Tumbleweed's, the American League Division Series, you're not going to be able to get that weed?
That's right. But I could finally watch the Braves after missing about, it seems like almost half of the season.
Now, if you get cable, you don't have to worry about any of that. But if you got dish or you got satellite television, whatever you got, you may not be able to watch it. You'll find that out today because this is when baseball's October big broadcast begins.
Yeah, and Fox Sports is the one that had the American League, so you're missing that. But you are able to get Major League Baseball Network and ESPN and the
TBS.
And TBS, which is where the National League playoffs will be played. So Tumbleweed's excited about that. And look, I'll be asleep, Tumbleweed. But if you want to come on over, and because I have Hulu.
What?
So if you want to come on over and watch the American League, you can sit downstairs in my living room and watch that.
Wow.
And of course, enjoy
You let him
yourself.
come inside? I thought you were going to put him in the gazebo out back.
Oh no, Tumbleweed's a trusted friend. He can come over anytime he'd like and watch the baseball.
Excellent.
And
tomorrow we got tickets, third row seats this time, getting ready for Country Christmas out at the Township with Tracy Lawrence. You'll win those tomorrow morning at 7:15. Remember, the number's the same thing you do when you want to call in and just to contribute to the show or tell us what's on your mind. 978-WCOS tomorrow, 7:15 is your tickets. What else we're talking about?
well, remind them you got to go to the Morning Rush blog at 975wcos.com because I've asked Tumbleweed and Jonathon Rush, both country music fans, but also Tumbleweed's favorite year was 1972. He knows everything about the year 1972. This song came out in 1974 is the answer to our trivia question, and he did not have any recollection of this.
I did not remember this song either.
Yeah,
and it was covered, and I missed that.
Yeah, we had a 2012 cover of it. So it was a huge huge country Christmas song in 1974. It's going to be our trivia question. Get the answer now on the Morning Rush blog to win your tickets tomorrow morning, 7:15, to go see Tracy Lawrence in the country Christmas concert here in a couple of weeks. Now, biblical plague is what they're describing as happening in Cuba right now, Jonathan. We've put this up on the Morning Rush blog. In Cuba, they don't know how it started. They don't know what brought it over there. But the African snail is apparently overwhelming the island nation of Cuba.
8 inches long, this thing is.
And that sounds long, and then when you see it, John, explain how big they are when they're in there.
I saw a picture of a girl holding one. Now, I'm not sure how close her hands were or how far away from her body when she was holding this thing. But it covered her breast. This thing was huge. And it was the snail was looking at the camera. Now, the snail didn't have any eyes, or this one didn't. And its face is so big, it actually has features. It looked like a blind rabbit in a shell. It's the freakiest looking thing. This is a plague.
They're saying there's millions of them. Millions
in Cuba, which is not that damn big.
So why aren't we hearing more about this? According to this, the Cuban authorities have activated the nationwide civil defense system to try to stop these things, because the people can die when they come in contact with these snails.
Yeah.
And there's millions of them, so all the people have to leave their kids in the house. Apparently, you can get some sort of infection, which will lead to a brain infection and kill you. So, and apparently you can't just shoot it and kill it, because there's something about that being, I don't want to be too graphic, but the splatter somehow helps make it worse.
What?
Yeah, so you have to kill it in the right way. And now they're showing the people out there spreading the poison, trying to kill the snails. We have the video of it. It's an amazing thing.
Well, I thought you put salt down, because you put salt on a slug, it'll just melt. I mean, it's nasty looking. It's kind of interesting when you're a kid. You can get hooked on it. You can go through a lot of salt. But,
what? You got hooked on watching snails die?
It's boring out in the country. You got to create your own entertainment. But you would think that if a snail, now I've never done that to a snail to my knowledge, I can't remember. If a snail would melt in salt, how did it get there? Thank God it can't swim across down to Cuba, from Cuba over to Florida.
The salt water would kill it?
Yes, would kill it. So I'm hoping.
But they must have got there on a tanker of some kind, some sort of boat. But again, Cuba is under, why aren't we, right now they're saying that the food supply in Cuba is now getting to the rationing portions. Like the snails have eaten so much fruit that there's not enough for human beings to eat.
And you couldn't eat it after a snail touched it.
Probably not.
You want some broccoli?
But they're eating fruits, vegetables,
snail trails on
and garbage.
Snail trails. That's nasty. And I bet they lead a trail that's about 4 inches wide. You could slip on that and kill yourself.
And these things are rapidly reproducing.
This is the sickest thing ever. All right, not since Moses have we seen this kind of sick plague of animals. I don't know what we can add to that other than that's sick.
Well, why isn't anybody doing a fundraiser for Cuba?
We should.
Somebody needs to help Cuba.
We need a GoFundMe to kill the snails. Where do you see these things? They are ugly. Ugly.
Ugly.
All right, so we might have to deal with that tomorrow. Anybody got an advice? Maybe you kill snails in the country. How did you do it? We can help them.
These look like you need rifles. I mean, they're this big. They weigh a pound each.
Huge.
You can't just put a little salt. You got to put a lot of salt.
You're not going to get that escargot as an appetizer. That's a full entree.
You know, here on the country stations, we tend to celebrate President Trump. I know a lot of our sister stations in the building not as big a fan of the president, but I would think that all formats, all genres of people should be able to celebrate what President Trump did yesterday, although I've not heard about it anywhere. Yesterday, President Trump signed a bill to put $1.8 billion towards what's called the Autism CARES Act of 2019.
Okay.
And I'm a parent of an adult son who has autism. Thankfully, my son has been able to kind of work his way into adulthood, where a lot of autistic kids aren't able to kind of get to that level of independence. And so what this does is, because normally when your kid turns 21, they age out of the system.
Right.
So if you know somebody who has an autistic child who's in their 30s or 40s, they're probably, a lot of them are living at home, The family has nobody
Sure.
to help them with this child. And what do they do when they die? And what happens to the child? Well, this is money that's going to help. And they're going to set up programs for kids who, or not kids, but young adults who are capable of going out and doing things.
Right.
Right now, there's nowhere for them to go. They just sit alone in their bedrooms. And they're 25, they're 30, they're 40 years old, and there's nobody to talk to, there's nothing to do. Their parents are working and trying very hard to take care of them as best they can. But this went into place yesterday. So if you know somebody who has autism, if you know somebody who has a family that's struggling with an autistic child, this bill is going to do a lot of good.
And the percentages of families who face this challenge is growing every year.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, if you hear a public service announcement on the radio that's older than a year, the stats are wrong.
That's right.
That's how fast it's affecting American families.
Yeah, I remember when it was 1 in every 200. Then it went to like 1 in 120. Then now the last one I think I did was like 1 in 60.
I heard the Kurt Schilling one was 1 in 88.
Yeah,
And then that one's outdated because it's 1 in 60 births.
yeah. It's an unbelievable progression for this, and there's money in there to help try to figure out where it's coming from and why this proliferation of it. My son, thank the Lord, has been able to move out on his own, and while he still has struggles, our struggles have not been anywhere near as bad. There's some people who are, they can't speak, they
Sure.
can't be around anything. So anyway, it's a horrible thing.
Politics aside, we should be to celebrate the fact the federal government's actually going to be spending some money on something that's worthy. Because
Yeah.
Lord knows that's not always the case. But I did want to find out, we're going to talk about the craziest date you've ever been on, because I just thought about another one.
Oh, wait a second. You've been on a crazy date?
Oh, we were in Greenville. I was on a double date, and we were in Greenville eating at one of my favorite restaurants, and somebody on the way out of the restaurant said, "Why don't we go to Myrtle Beach?"
From Greenville?
Yes, on a Friday night. And I'm like, and I got outvoted. We drove just as we were straight to Myrtle Beach. No clothes, not even a toothbrush.
What time did you
Nothing.
get to Myrtle Beach?
At like 11:30 or 12, and we went on biker weekend. No hotel rooms available, nothing. I slept out on the beach in front of the Hilton. The security guard woke me up.
Wow.
It was nuts.
Where was she?
She was under the catamaran. I was on top. I don't know how she got under there. I was sleeping on the catamaran like a trampoline, which is actually pretty comfortable. For a homeless guy, I was pretty comfortable.
And she was sleeping on the sand.
Yes,
underneath it.
Yeah, because the security guard woke me up. He said, "You got to get out of here." And I said, "Well, I don't think I got a ride because I don't see anybody I came with." And that's where we found her on the sand under the catamaran. And the other couple was down there sleeping under some of the patio furniture. It was nuts. Worst weekend of my life. I finally got back to the upstate on a Sunday afternoon.
Talk about a classy date. Well, we are going to talk about craziest dates you've been on tomorrow morning, 6:15, and I don't know that anybody can top that. That's pretty
It's not that
nuts.
crazy.
What?
It's not that crazy.
That's pretty crazy.
Well,
We drove and slept on a beach.
we did. And spent the
4
entire-
hours, 5 hours away.
I did have to buy a pair of. I had to buy a bathing suit because I was swimming in my underwear, and they said no, you can't do that. Which I was surprised.
Yeah, why can't I?
I don't know. The girls down there with thongs. I had on a pair of boxer shorts.
Yeah.
They made me go buy a bathing suit. So I picked out the stupidest bathing suit I could find. Wore that proudly. I think it had a shark on it. I can't remember now. So anyway, that was great. That was a wasted weekend is what that was.
Well,
I didn't like the girl that much.
we'd love to hear crazy stories. So tomorrow morning, start dialing us up at 6:15. Let us know your crazy date story. You got anything else for tomorrow's show?
Hey, listen, reach out to us on social media, Facebook right here. Tell us some things you've been talking about, maybe some stuff you heard in your office. You want to talk about that? You want to join in the contest, you know the number is 978-9267. And be sure to chime in because we want you to be part of the program. It's tomorrow's show. We're going to do all that, maybe whatever else happens. And we're talking about it today. And you can find us here every day. Thanks for listening, Morning Rush Your Regulars. See ya.